everybody, it's Kim here. As you can see, my sister's not here with me. I'm just by myself today. And that's just because my sister's at home for the summer and I'm still up at school. I have to go to class, summer classes, and I have a job up here and stuff. So some of these videos were probably going to be separate and most of them throughout the summer, but whenever we're together, we're going to try and make some videos for you guys. Also, of course, we want to apologize for not posting, but since we've been in school and stuff, especially with the last few months of the semester, like, it's just been crazy. Like, with my schedule, I've been busy. I know she's been busy. And then if we did have time to do a video, like, we just didn't feel like it, to be honest. And, like, it's hard to, like, get motivation and stuff or inspiration on what kind of video to do without it being, like, just normal like everybody else is. So we were struggling with that, too. But we thought it would be a good idea to kind of start making videos about what's been going on with my mom. And it's mainly because, well, partially it's because we want to educate people, try and educate people about the subject and try and relate to other people who are going through it, and also to get support from other people. Whenever I did post about my mom on my Instagram, some people were commenting, and honestly, oh my God, there's a fly in here, sorry. And honestly, like, it made me feel like 10 times better because I know, like, I'm the type of person, I don't really like to talk about my problems or, like, bug people with my problems. And I know with, like, something this serious, like, some people may not know how to take it or may not know how to give advice or, I don't know, just relate. So I feel like these videos might just help in that area. But anyways, as you can see by the title, I am going to be talking about my mom's experience and basically how we found out everything and what's been going on with her health and everything like that. So if you guys didn't know, I posted something on my Instagram. I can't remember when this was, probably a couple weeks ago. It was actually on Mother's Day, and it was about my mom, and I was saying that basically they think cancer is back and stuff like that. Without even doing a biopsy, they were pretty much 100% certain that it was cancer. But I said, like, I wasn't going to accept that until they did further testing. Oh my God, that fly is going to bug me. Anyways, so I made that post and, like, a lot of people were commenting and I was getting a lot of support on it, which I appreciate everyone reaching out because honestly, this has been going on for so long and I haven't been talking about it with anybody. And it's honestly just been a heavy thing for me to try and handle, especially with me being in school. Like, I'm up here all the time, like, I can't really be with my mom, and, like, knowing that she's going through all this, like, it's been hard. But that's why it's taken me so long to actually talk about it. That's why I think finally I'm able to talk about it without getting emotional, because this has just been going on for so long, and I think I'm in a place where I can actually accept it with them giving us a confirmation on everything and just trying to move forward. But anyways, so I'm going to talk about everything that's been going on. We're going to try and put some dates in here and everything. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my computer because I wrote everything out. Like, I called my mom last night and I was like, please give me all the details, like how you've been feeling, like step by step. So I wrote it all down for you. We would have had her tell you guys her side of the story, but she just got released from the hospital like 2 days ago, I think, and the medicine she's on has been making her really drowsy and a little out of it. So I figured I would post this video, and hopefully the next video she'll be in it and stuff. And if you guys have any questions that you want to ask her, just leave them down below because she's willing to tell you guys everything. I know, like, I always have so many questions for her, like wanting to know how it feels. Like, you always wonder, like, if someone has cancer or something, like, what does it feel like? Like, is it painful? Does it feel like this? Like, I just have so many questions. So if you guys want to know anything, leave them down below. She said she will answer them. Like, she wants to be in the videos and she wants to help educate other people. But all right, I'm gonna quit talking. Let's get into it. Okay, so this all started back in November. It's now June, so this has been going on for a while. So she said she was getting nauseous. She started having diarrhea, and she was having upper abdominal pain. And this was the weekend after Thanksgiving. So the nausea, the diarrhea, and her pain in her abdomen, that all started a little after Thanksgiving. And that was going on for a while. Like, we couldn't even convince her to go to the doctors until January. That's when she actually ended up going to the doctors. And for anyone who knows my mom, they know, like, she's really healthy. Her diet is really good. She always eats healthy. She works out almost every day. Like, that's just her kind of lifestyle. And so she's, like, rarely ever sick. And I never hear her complain. And so for her to be sick like this for a while, like, it was definitely, like, you know, you need to go get checked. But with her being a nurse and stuff, like, she's like, no, I'll be fine. She's kind of hard-headed, too. Like, she won't listen. It takes her a while to listen. But finally, January 3rd, she went to the doctor. So basically, she told the doctor what was going on, and he said he didn't feel anything in her abdomen because, of course, if you guys didn't know, my mom had cancer 13 years ago. She had cervical cancer. So, like, when she first started feeling sick, the first thing she thought was, what if the cancer came back? What if there's a mass in there that's causing all of this? So she told her doctor that when she went in January. He said he didn't feel anything in her abdomen and that she looked healthy, which she did. Like, she just looked normal. I mean, he's like, you don't look like a sick person. You don't look like you could have cancer. Like, you seem fine. And he thought that maybe she had a stomach ulcer. So he started her on a medication. It's called Prilosec and Carafate. And then he ordered an abdominal x-ray for her for the pain. And because of the history of cancer and stuff, that's why he ordered the x-ray. So she got the x-ray, and the x-ray showed that there was an ileus in her bowel, and that it was full of stool all the way through. Like, it was just completely blocked. And that's when, like, she was complaining, like, she couldn't go to the bathroom and stuff. So the x-ray actually showed that it was all blocked up in there. So then he ordered her tons of laxatives, like, because she kept complaining, I can't go to the bathroom, I can't go. And he was ordering her, like, different kinds of laxatives, and nothing was working. So the last thing that he ordered was a prep for a colonoscopy. Like, and if you know what that is, like, before you get a colonoscopy, they have to clear out your entire system. That's what they gave her. And that didn't work at all. And you're like thinking, what the heck? That's what I was thinking, like, maybe there's probably something wrong with her if the prep for the colonoscopy didn't work at all. So then he's like, you know, something's probably wrong. He actually recommended a CAT scan for her to get a CAT scan for her abdomen. But we ended up running into some difficulties with the insurance, so that ended up taking a while because the insurance had to approve the CAT scan. That took a long time. So January 20th, she started feeling a sharp pain in her shin. And she told me, she's like, it felt like a stabbing, like someone was stabbing a knife in my shin. And that went on for a few nights. And she said it usually happened at night and usually when she would lay down. And then she started getting pain in her lower back. And it would be like her lower back, and it would go around her hip and down the front of her leg. And these symptoms only happened on the right side. And then she started getting groin pain also on the right side too, which was just so weird. And so she started talking to people at work and stuff because she works at a nursing home and there's some nurses there. She started confiding in them, telling them her problems, and they said it sounded like sciatica, which is like a back pain, back injury. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but it's something to do with the back that can cause like kind of some nerve pain that was kind of consistent with the pain that my mom was having. So they thought it was sciatica, but the pain would be so bad to the point where my mom couldn't sit down, she couldn't lay down. She was limping, which really started to concern me because when she was telling me she was limping and stuff, and I actually seen her in person limping, I'm like, there's really something wrong with my mom. Like, this is a person who can run 13 miles, who's healthy, who eats all the time. She eats healthy all the time. Like, there's something wrong with her. But like everybody else, I'm like, you know, maybe it is sciatica. Like, you work 2 jobs. She works 2 jobs, and sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, she works both jobs back to back. So like she's overworking herself. And her primary job is a nurse, and she works 8 hours straight. She doesn't take a break. Like, she just rather be with her residents, make sure everybody's okay. So like she's on her feet that whole time. So when she was like limping and stuff, I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong with her. So and the pain wouldn't relieve, or it wouldn't go away. And so she would get like real restless. She would sleep in a kitchen chair, and I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can. So like, if you have the chair, her knees would be on the part that you sit on, and she's like doubled over the back of the chair. Like, I can't explain it, but she would sleep in the kitchen chair like that, because laying down she would get excruciating pain. And she would hang over the back of the couch too, the same way, but like she would like drape her body over the back of the couch, and her knees would be like on the cushions or whatever, and she would lay like that all night and get like no sleep at all. Meanwhile, this whole time she's still going to work. She's still working both the jobs, never calling off or anything. And that lasted until she was able to get surgery, which was in March. So you know how her doctor had ordered the CAT scan and stuff like that. That CAT scan actually showed that there was a mass on her right ovary, which was compressing the ureter of her kidney. So her primary care physician referred her to a gynecologist. And so her gynecologist said that she would need surgery to get rid of the mass. But her gynecologist had semi-retired, and he didn't do surgery. So he had to recommend her to another gynecologist that would do her surgery. So that gynecologist, which we don't want to mention because we didn't really like the work that they did. But anyways, that gynecologist accepted my mom as a new patient and set her up for her surgery, which was March 8th. They were going to remove her ovary, and they were going to remove the mass. And actually, I think she had the option of getting the rest of her ovaries removed just in case the mass would grow back, because there was a possibility it could. But with that, she would go into automatic menopause. So she was like debating, like, should I get the rest of my ovaries taken out? Because she was going to go into instant menopause, like instantly after the surgery. But after she thought about it, she decided she might as well, because I mean, that's better than the risk of it coming back. So anyways, so she had the surgery. Now, after her surgery, she didn't experience that leg pain anymore. And that pain was basically the pain that was causing her to limp. She would feel pressure whenever she would walk on her right side. So that's why she was limping and everything like that. So that was relieved. And so basically, I just thought it was weird, because I went to go visit her when she was in the hospital right after the surgery, and I just got a weird vibe whenever I went into the hospital, went to her room and stuff. Like, I asked my mom, what did they say when they did the surgery? Did they tell you? Did they give you an update? No. Like, no one updated my mom on anything about the surgery that entire day. Like, and she was up and she was alert after her surgery, and like nobody came and updated her, which I thought was weird. And so I went to go ask the nurse that's sitting outside, like, are we gonna get an update? What did they find? Couldn't we at least get something? And she's like, oh, well, let me try and get in contact with the nurse. And it wasn't actually until the next day, I think, that they ended up telling my mom what they did and what they found and stuff. I think after the surgery, my mom's brother was there, and they might have told him what happened and his wife what happened. But when they were trying to explain it to us, like, they're like, you might just want to talk to the doctor herself, because, you know, they couldn't remember everything that they said. So basically, the doctor said that she wasn't able to remove all of the mass because it was so attached to her abdominal, to her pelvic wall. And because of that, she thought it was a possibility that it could be cancerous because it was so attached, and the fact that she couldn't remove it all. So that Tuesday after her surgery, she got a call from pathology, because once they did that surgery, they took the piece that they could take and they sent it to get a biopsy to see if it was cancerous or not. So that Tuesday we got a call from pathology, and they said it was no cancer. And we were like so relieved because number one, they said it wasn't cancer, and number two, the symptoms that she was having was gone. So we're thinking everything's cool. Like my mom said, about 5 to 6 days after that surgery, she started getting that leg pain again. It was slowly coming back. Like it wasn't as bad as it was before, but it was like it started to slowly come back. And so she had a follow-up appointment with the surgeon, and she told the surgeon she was getting that pain again, and the surgeon said that the nerves could still be healing from the surgery, or she could have nerve damage. So that probably was why she was getting that pain still. And she did mention that after 2 months, she wanted to get another CAT scan to make sure that the mass didn't grow back, and she wanted to check on her kidney again. So in the meantime, the leg pain continued, and it continued to get worse and worse, and it was like excruciating and unbearable. And my mom ended up going to a neurologist where he did an EMG test, and I think that tests like the muscles, the activity of the muscles. And the EMG test showed that everything was fine. And so he instructed her to get a CAT scan done because he didn't think that any of this was coming from a back injury, which is sciatica. Like he didn't think it was sciatica. So she got the CAT scan done, and she ended up having to go to the ER, which I think I missed a point. But earlier, when she was having to like sleep on the kitchen chair and drape over the couch, that was actually her first time going to the ER. So that was back in January. It was her first time going to the ER. It was a night. She was working 2 jobs. Her second job is at TJ Maxx. So she had went to TJ Maxx after she worked her first job. And when they got out, like it was almost to the point where she couldn't walk. And finally, one of the people that she works with, like, you need to go to the ER, they told her. So they took her to the ER, and they gave her a shot. They gave her a shot to relieve the pain, but they told my mom that she would need an MRI. They couldn't do the MRI at the ER, so they really couldn't look into any details. They just gave her a shot. It relieved the pain, and basically they released her or whatever. So back to after she got the CAT scan, because the neurologist wanted to see what's going on. In between that, she had to go to the ER again because it was the same thing. She was unable to walk. She was getting a lot of that pelvic pain. And in the ER, they actually had the CAT scan results. So she went for the CAT scan, and then, of course, like the CAT scan results take a couple days. So in between those couple of days to get the results back, she went back to the ER because the pain was so bad. And they actually had the CAT scan results there. And that's when the doctor told her there's another mass, and this mass is 8.7 centimeters, which is pretty big. And also while she was in the ER, the surgeon who originally did the surgery actually called her and told her that she was referring her to an oncologist because she believed that it was cancer due to how fast that mass grew back. And she also said that's why my mom was getting that leg pain, because the mass was also hitting a lot of the nerves. Like how big that mass was, you can imagine it's like pressing up on all the nerves. So she went to the oncologist in Pittsburgh, and basically without any confirmation or any testing, she just did a physical exam. I think she like pressed down on my mom's stomach and stuff. She basically said like she knew it was cancer pretty much. She said she believed it was a reoccurrence of the cervical cancer that my mom had 13 years ago, and she believed that it was in the lymph node, and that the only treatment would be chemo and radiation. So that's when I made that post. It was like on Mother's Day. This happened way before Mother's Day, but on Mother's Day I was like, after hearing that there's a possibility it could be cancer, on Mother's Day I just figured I would just put it out there, because we kind of had a strong feeling that it was, just because the doctor who said that has experience in that type of thing, and she's like, I see this all the time, like I'm pretty sure that it's cancer. And she also told my mom that her kidney was pretty much dead and she couldn't save it. And so my mom said at that appointment, like she just felt like that doctor was so, like she wasn't passionate when she told my mom that. When she told her, like, you know, it could be cancer, we can't save your kidney. My mom said it was like, I don't know. My mom didn't feel that connection, especially when you're going through something like that. Like, you want a team of doctors that are going to be passionate and that show that they care about you and they want you to, you know, to get better and to recover. And like, she didn't feel that in Pittsburgh. So she decided that she wanted to get a second opinion. And so she decided she was going to go to the Cleveland Clinic. She went to the Cleveland Clinic in April, late April. It was either late April or early May. And they did a PET MRI there, which showed that there was actually 4 different masses, and it was within the pelvic and the abdominal region. And they wanted to do a biopsy from the mass, which was occluding her kidney. And so when she went to Cleveland Clinic, they still wanted her to go check in with another doctor to see if they could save her kidney. So they referred her to a kidney doctor. And they also referred her to a palliative care doctor. So with the kidney doctor, they wanted to see if she can get a stent put into her kidney to help it. And if that didn't work, then they were going to put a tube into her kidney. And with the palliative doctor's job is to basically manage pain, especially for really serious illnesses and disorders that cause really bad pain. And when my mom told me this, she really thought that maybe the cancer was really bad, because she works in a nursing home, and sometimes when you hear palliative care, you think hospice and stuff like that, because basically, like, sometimes palliative care could be like a step before hospice. And you know, hospice is like when you're pretty much on your deathbed and they want to make your quality of life better before you end up passing away. So like, when I heard this is when I really start getting concerned, because this was before they told us what kind of cancer she had or if she had cancer and stuff. So hearing all of this, it's like your mind's just going, like, you're thinking the worst and stuff. So she went to a palliative care doctor to manage the pain, where they started her on a regimen of pain medications to control her pain. So June 4th is when she went to the urologist for him to put the stent into her kidney, which opens the ureters so the urine can flow out into the bladder and not back into her kidney. But that surgery was unsuccessful, so the stent didn't work. She wasn't able to get the stent in. So their second option was to do the tube. So her kidney was completely blocked from the mass, which is why the stent wasn't working. So after she had that surgery for the stent, because I think they had to put you to sleep and all that stuff. So that was the surgery, didn't work. After she had that surgery, she had a follow-up appointment with the palliative care doctor, where they seen that my mom was in so much pain that day that they admitted her to the hospital. So this was like sometime last week. They admitted her to the hospital, and they wanted to start trying to control her pain because they couldn't let her go home like that. So they started her on IV medications to get her pain under control, which started to work. And then she was also scheduled for a nephrostomy tube, which is when they put that tube directly into your kidney, and the tube actually comes out of your back, and there's like a drain, and it drains the urine. So that happened on June 6th. She got the tube in. So she has the tube in right now. And then June 7th, they took her off her IV meds. And so they started her on oral meds to make sure that they controlled the pain before they sent her home. And once they seen that the pain was controlled, they decided to discharge her. And her oncologist said that she's going to be starting chemo next week. So basically, all of this has been going on for so long, and looking back on it, it's just crazy because, you know, we were told it wasn't cancer, and then they're like, oh, we think it is. And then they actually confirmed it after doing the biopsy. It is cancer, but I don't know how much detail they went into with my mom while she was at the doctor. I wasn't there. I don't know if they told her the exact kind. I think it's maybe cervical cancer in the lymph nodes. I don't know if they told her you have, you know, stage 3 cancer, stage 4. I don't know that. But my mom also doesn't want to know it. So if they didn't mention it, she didn't ask. Because I think it would just mess with her mind too much. But I think through all of this, we've learned a few things, and it's when you have a family member going through something like that, I think one of the most important things to do is take somebody with you. If you're the person that's going through it and you're going to the doctor's appointments, like, take someone with you, or especially someone who's going to speak up, because my mom's the kind of person who, she's really quiet. Like, we're kind of the same kind of people. We don't really like to speak up and tell somebody exactly how we feel. And especially when she's in pain, she always tries to downplay it like she's fine. And it's like, I think my mom knew her body that whole time. And like, people are telling her, you don't look sick, you look fine. But she always knew that there could be a possibility that it was cancer. And I feel like if she would have pressed it since the beginning, then maybe we would have had some different outcomes. But just always bring people with you. Always ask questions. Make sure that the doctors are telling you everything, because when she got the initial surgery back in January, they seen that there was something wrong with her kidney, and they never mentioned anything. They never told us about her kidney. So we didn't know that until she went to the doctor in Pittsburgh, and that's when they told her about her kidney. So it's just like, there's like information that they don't tell you or they leave out, and those things could change the outcome sometimes, and you need to know that stuff. So that would be like one thing to do, is to make sure that you're asking questions, bring someone with you. And if I could say one thing about my mom, is she's definitely one of the strongest people that I know, hands down. And it's crazy, because I feel like a lot of people say that about people, especially relatives and stuff, but I'm just so happy that I can say that about her and actually mean it. I mean, through all this pain, it's just crazy to see how strong she's been, and she continues to go to work. Even in pain, she'll limp around and still do an 8-hour shift. And it's like, what person do you know does that? And I think that's what was the hardest part for me going through it all. And I mean, it's taken me a long time to be able to talk about this without even getting emotional or crying, because it just blows my mind to think how, you know, there's people out here who are just really good, genuine people, and who never complain, who work hard, who live paycheck to paycheck, is a single mom with 2 kids, and make sure that all of her residents are taken care of at the nursing home, and puts people before herself. And then for something like this to happen, and for her to be in so much pain and still go through with such positivity, and it's crazy. Like, I'm trying not to get emotional, but it's just mind-blowing. And I think I'm going through a lot of stuff because I'm at school and I can't be with her, and like, I'm upset because I'm like, is it really worth it, like, being in school when I could be at home with my mom, you know, and she's going through this? I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, anything can happen within the next couple months or within the next year or so, and I just want to know that I can spend the most time with her as possible. But I know this one day we were at home and she was in so much pain, and she couldn't sit, she couldn't do anything. She was so restless, and she was just walking around the house, and she got up, she played her gospel music because she's really into her religion and gospel and stuff. She started playing gospel music, and she just started praising God, and we sat there and we just started praising him, and we just had a good time. Ugh. I'm sorry, I don't want to get emotional, but I think it's days like that that just make me, sorry, my phone's about to die. It's days like that, seeing her like that and seeing her so positive in such a situation that's not, it's just horrible. It's a horrible situation that no one ever wants to be in, but seeing her like that makes me want to be a stronger person. Like, she always tells me, you're strong, you can do it, and like, I get so hard on myself. I'm like, I'm not strong. Like, I was crying almost every single day after I found all of this out, and I just felt like I wasn't strong enough to deal with it. My mom's like, you're strong, you're strong. And when I seen her do that and was just praising God, I just thought, I have to just put it in his hand. He's not going to put you in a situation that you can't handle. And seeing my mom being able to handle it is like, I know I can handle it. And my mom's one and only wish is for me to just continue and to graduate from my program. For you guys who don't know, I'm in grad school. This is my first year. I finished my first year. This is my summer semester. I have one more year to go. And throughout all of this, she just wants me to graduate, and she doesn't want me to take time off. Even if something were to happen to her, she doesn't want me to take time off. She just wants me to continue and to graduate, and that's what I'm gonna do. No matter how hard it is, because these last couple months have been really hard on me, and it's hard to not get so down and depressed, and I'm working on it. Like, it's not easy, man. It's really not. But this is why I think making this video is so important to me, because I don't have that many people that are close to me that I can reach out to. I mean, it's just like my sister and my mom, and those are pretty much the only people I have. And I think if I could get a little bit of outside support or some advice or just people to talk to or people who can relate, it would just make the situation, at least for me, like 100 times better. And I know my mom, she wants to touch people, and she wants to be able to help other people who may be in the same situation. So with that being said, I don't want to make this video too long. We're probably going to make a few more videos, but basically here's our plan from here on out. My mom starts chemo next week. I think my sister's going to vlog that. So if you guys want to ask her questions, even when they make that vlog, go ahead and ask her, like, how is the chemo going, what they do there. Hopefully my sister's gonna vlog all of that, how that process goes. And basically we're gonna go through it, and we'll be fine. I think we're a strong family. We can do it. My mom's already making plans to have a hair cutting party. She wants to, if her hair starts to fall out from the chemo, she wants to have a party where all her friends are there and we can all cut her hair and stuff. So just subscribe to her channel, like it, share it, everything. Comment below, please. We would appreciate it. But we'll see you in the next video.